That's right. We love Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Remember Yes? Yeah, those guys were awesome. Boy, I'm dating myself right now. Graduated high school in 1976. I am 54 years old. How time flies. And I talking about time, I don't know about you, but I sure wish spring would hurry up and get here. It was 29 degrees in Chicago when I woke up this morning. 29 degrees. 29 degrees in Minneapolis, where we're broadcast from. I think it got a little bit warmer, maybe into the 40s. But come on now, it's April. How about some 50s? How about 50 degrees? I know the listeners in California are laughing at me right now. I know the listeners in Florida are laughing at me right now. But hey, it's a great big country. To send some of that warm air up here, you're hogging it all. You guys are hogging it all. Give us some in the Great Plains up here next to the Great Lakes, because we need it bad. Thanks for listening, everybody. 866-582-9933 is the number to call, 866-582-9933. If you're listening to the podcast or would like to speak to a living, breathing human being about the health stuff or the wealth stuff, how to get the products at the wholesale price, which products to use, how to take them, what the heck's going on with this longevity business opportunity, how can I make money by helping my friends and family and church members recover their health? If you don't get on that train, there's something wrong with you, honestly. 855-347-3696 is that number, 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. We have an online health recovery program that you can subscribe to by going to fireyourmdnow.com. And if you sign up for my free monthly newsletter, between now and Friday, you're going to get 7 days of free access, to my online health recovery webinar. You can dip your toe in that water, slam the tires, kick the tires, slam the doors, drive that car around the block for 7 days, see if you'd like to stick with us. Once you're going to get a subscription to this stuff, you're going to want to be in for the long haul, because it is awesome. Because, it's one of the facts of the world that you just don't know what you don't know. And what our strength is providing easy-to-understand information. Stuff, one of my strengths is being able to detangle all of this fancy-schmancy doctor talk and diagnostic arrays and be able to just talk to you practically about what the heck this all means, because really it's not rocket science. Your doctor is not nearly as smart as you think they are. And really, from the proper perspective, everything makes sense. So if you're one of those people who surfs the web and tries to figure it all out on your own, what's going on with asthma, what's going on with arthritis, well, guess what? We have it all dialed in for you. It's right there for the asking. Check it out at fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com. Sign up for the free monthly newsletter and get a 7-day trial run of the webinar, online health recovery webinar series. Thank you so much for paying attention to what we have to say here, because, aging is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Aging is inevitable, but suffering is optional. We're going to go to Pennsylvania right now. Lauren's calling in with a question about teeth, some kind of a dental question. Hey, Lauren, thanks for calling. You're live. Lauren, where? Hey, Lauren, can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I think Lauren's driving down the road in her car, maybe. I don't know. Sound like a lot of wind there. 866-582-9933 is the number to call. We're going to go to Vermont now and talk to Mary about a thyroid issue. Hey, Mary, thanks for calling. Hey, by the way, how's the weather in old Vermont?
Yeah, we're looking for spring too, Doctor, that's for sure. Looking for spring.
How was your winter, Mary? How was this winter up there in Vermont?
We had a pretty good snowy winter, long. A long winter. It was snowing yesterday. It was snowing today. So it's
what part? It's a pretty big state. What part of Vermont do you live in?
Right in the middle of the state, right below Montpelier.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, are you near any ski resorts?
We are probably right in the middle between Killington, Sugarbush. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never going to strap on another pair of skis as long as I live. The last time I went skiing, for goodness sake, it was in Colorado, Breckenridge. I think I almost killed myself.
Yeah, I'm all set with those. I'm ready for the flip-flops permanently.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
For sure. Yeah.
I'm with you there. So, hey, thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Enough of this chit-chat. How can I help?
Yeah, I have a friend that I sat with yesterday, and she's interested in what we're doing. She is taking L-thyroxine, 175 milligrams for her thyroid at this point. Her doctor told her that she shouldn't take calcium with it because it will interact and cause it not to work.
Yeah, isn't that
changes,
crazy?
Usually she said she'll go from 175 milligrams to 200 based on blood work. She's also taking Allegra for hives, which she said started at the time that her thyroid got infected, which happened when she quit smoking. So of course I told her the Healthy Start Pack, but I wanted to get the info from you.
Okay, so if you're a subscriber to the online health recovery program, I have a really good archived webinar. All right, so check out the archived webinar about thyroid. And if you're a subscriber, you can send anybody that's in your downline or your potential downline a link to different of the webinars just to give them a heads up and a clue. Maybe they'll get a subscription too, or better yet, maybe maybe you will complete the enrollment.
Right.
With the information. So I would just send her a link to that webinar, but here's what I want to tell you right now about that, and for the folks in the listening audience who don't have access to the online health recovery protocol. Well, hey, wait a minute, what am I talking about? If you sign up for my newsletter right now, folks, you will have access to it, and it's free for 7 days. So check it out. I've got about 25, I think, archived health webinars that you can just point and click your way to holistic health right now. They're just there for the picking. So check it out. Sign up for the newsletter and then check out 7 days worth of the membership for free. Check it out. So now, thyroid condition. A couple things I want to tell you about thyroid. Number one, the testing that most MDs use to assess thyroid function is old-fashioned, incomplete, out-of-date, and ineffective. It just doesn't work. It's a TSH, thyroid-stimulating hormone. It's one of the worst tests ever devised. It doesn't work. The only time that test gives you any insight at all into what's going on metabolically is if it's really, 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 really high or really, 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 really low. It usually never is. It's just in the middle gray area, and it is completely irrelevant because the TSH numbers change every hour of every day. And medical doctors just are clueless about this because they're old-fashioned, pig-headed. They do what they were taught without question, even though it doesn't work. Now, levothyroxine is thyroid hormone 4. It's thyroid hormone 4. And your body likes thyroid hormone 4, but it loves thyroid hormone 3. Thyroid hormone 3 is 4 times as strong as thyroid hormone 4. Now, your body can make thyroid hormone 3, which it loves, from thyroid hormone 4, which it likes, in the presence of selenium. Now, what her doctor really should have told her is if she's taken levothyroxine, she needs to be taking selenium in order to help the body convert it into T3. But, of course, her doctor has no experience, no knowledge, no education, no training, no respect, and no appreciation for medical nutrition. So her doctor is going to give her the wrong advice all of the time regarding all of this stuff. Now, let's talk about the calcium issue. Calcium can, in fact, interfere with the absorption of the thyroid hormone, but that only happens if you take them at the same time. And calcium is an extremely essential nutrient in the human body. And it's in the blood all of the time. So if calcium really was an issue, levothyroxine would never work because there's always circulating amounts of calcium in the blood. So her doctor has his head up his you-know-what when it comes to that. And by the way, it's much more dangerous to be deficient in calcium than to have an overabundance of it. Quite frankly, I'm waiting to meet the first person who does, in fact, have an overabundance of calcium. I've never seen it. So she doesn't really need to worry about that, but the best way that any type of thyroid hormone medication works is if she takes it on an empty stomach. So in order to get more bang from her buck for the levothyroxine that she's on, she needs to be taking it first thing in the morning when she wakes up on an empty stomach. And once she, showers and changes and gets dressed and puts on her makeup and starts her day, then she can do her calcium supplement, no problem. It's absolutely, positively not going to interfere. So the recommendation to support and promote the structure and function of her endocrine system in the face of an MD diagnosis of an underactive thyroid would be 1 anti-aging healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, and as much Z-radical as she can afford. She can also start to use salt that has iodine in it. That's mandatory. I don't care if it's table salt or Himalayan salt or sea salt. As long as it has iodine added to it, I'm good to go with that. She needs to eliminate the 10 bad foods. She can get some myrrh oil, M-Y-R-R-H, like frankincense and myrrh, right? Myrrh oil, and paint it on her throat over the thyroid gland 3 times a day. That will help her thyroid. And lastly, she should go to a chiropractor and have her neck x-rayed from the side to see if the curve in her neck is appropriate and correct. Because if her neck is anatomically incorrect, if the curve is going the wrong way, or if she has a straight military neck with no curve, the nerves going to the thyroid could perhaps be compromised. And if she has a structurally compromised neck, then she's going to have problems with the thyroid even if she has optimal nutrition. So if she gets her neck assessed by a good chiropractor, takes those nutritional supplements, and, last thing she needs to do is eliminate from her diet spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, eggplant, and Brussels sprouts, the cruciferous vegetables plus spinach, because those vegetables have biochemicals in them that suppress thyroid function. Isn't that interesting? So no broccoli, no cauliflower, no Brussels sprouts, no eggplant, no spinach, plus eliminate the other 10 bad foods, right? Use iodized salt and take those nutritional supplements for 90 days. She should see a remarkable improvement in her thyroid function. Hey, thanks so much for calling, Mary. I hope you're having a good time up there in Vermont, and I hope spring comes tomorrow. The fool that knows he is a fool is that much wiser. The fool who thinks he is wise is a fool indeed. I want to read you something from a magazine that I get. It's called Holistic Primary Care. I can only read little bits at a time because it just makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit every time I read a paragraph. But it brings to light in black and white. Brings to light in black and white. Hey, I think I'm going to coin that phrase. Brings to light in black and white the single-minded, pigeonholed, biased view of medicine that doctors practicing holistic medicine bring to the table. Now, most remember, naturopathic doctors are a minority. There are less than 4,000 licensed naturopathic doctors in the entire world, right? Less than 4,000. MDs and chiropractors and osteopaths who are licensed as such are starting to come over into the light, so to speak, of holistic medical therapeutics because they recognize that what they're doing just doesn't work. So there are places that teach what's called integrative medicine around the United States, and they try to teach allopathic reductionistic MDs holistic therapeutics, but they don't really teach holistic therapeutics. What ends up happening is you get this green allopathy, green reductionistic medicine with MDs using vitamins the same way that they use drugs. They have no understanding of the holistic method whatsoever, and because of this, their theories and their treatments are basically flawed from the beginning, but they don't realize that they're flawed. And this is what I was talking about Dr. Oz yesterday. Dr. Oz is the most dangerous man in the United States because he doesn't know that he's colorblind. He doesn't know that he's colorblind. He doesn't know that his therapeutics are biased from the beginning. And, Dr. Oz promotes, just by showing up on TV, the false notion of the superiority of the MD, giving us the idea that just because he's an MD, he gets to have a say in holistic medicine. Well, he doesn't. And, if I was the king of the world, he would only be allowed to talk about cardiovascular surgery, which is his specialty. He doesn't know anything about holistic medicine. But he thinks that he does. And this is the problem. So, I'm going to read you from this magazine, Holistic Primary Care. And hopefully for the eggheads in the audience, this will drive home my point. Okay, so the headline of this article is Consider GI Problems, Gastrointestinal Problems in Patients with Osteoporosis and Arthritis. That's interesting. When a patient presents with symptoms of arthritis or evidence of osteoporosis, most clinicians would not immediately look to the gastrointestinal tract for pathogenic clues. Well, I would, but that's right, most physicians would not. But they should, says Chad Larson, D.C. chiropractor. All right? A growing body of research as well as clinical experience shows correlations between intestinal permeability and common disorders of the bones and joints. The link, autoimmunity. Now, this is where he gets it wrong, autoimmunity. All right? Now, there is a link between the intestinal tract and immune stimulation, and we've been talking about this for years. I remember giving lectures about this very subject 20 years ago. It's the naturopaths, the naturopathic doctors that first brought this concept of a leaky gut into the public medical domain. We were the guys that figured it out and started talking about it decades ago. He goes on to say, increased intestinal permeability, also known as leaky gut, is a root cause of many autoimmune reactions. That's not correct. There's no such thing as autoimmunity. Increased permeability means that potential antigens from inside the gut can pass into the blood and activate the immune system. That's correct. These activations and reactions are a key trigger of many bone and joint problems, explained Dr. Larson. That is also not correct. That is a supposition that is not supported by the literature, but he's going to make that leap. Blah, 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 blah. The good news is that now it is possible to detect autoimmune antibodies in the blood long before chronic autoimmune reactions cause end-stage tissue damage. Well, look, again, the MDs have got it wrong, and instead of trying to focus on what's really happening here, they're focusing on more and more and more and more and more and more and more acute diagnostic arrays, right? So they're going to try to do an extra blood panel, an extra autoimmune blood panel to try to help you figure out what's really going on in the body. Well, they might be able to detect the presence of these antibodies that they incorrectly classify as autoimmune antibodies, and that lets them know that the game is afoot. Well, why did the patient come to you in the first place? Because they had joint pain. So why did you need to do all of this extra stuff to pad the bill in order to figure out that they had joint pain? And what's the whole deal with autoimmunity? I'll tell you when we come back. 866-582-9933. Everyone who's fired their MD all around the world is singing that tune right now. It brings me a great deal of joy to imagine everybody singing along to that tune. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, encouraging you, reminding you that only you can prevent allopathic reductionism. I'm encouraging you to get a clue. Fire your MD. Only use them for acute trauma and surgery when it's absolutely necessary for a handful of infectious diseases that have not yielded to otherwise holistic treatments. And use science-based, clinically verified naturopathic medical nutrition for everything else. Because most of the time, that's all that you need. Now, you know, you need a good chiropractor. You need to have a good chiropractor in the wings. Doesn't hurt to have a good acupuncturist in the wings as well. And, you know, if you know somebody that's good and effective with homeopathy, which is much harder to find someone who's good and effective with homeopathy, let me tell you, that's not a bad thing either. Acupuncture, chiropractic, and homeopathy are perfect adjuncts and supportive therapeutics for science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Really, really great stuff. You know, you can jumpstart the dead battery in the car, but if you don't have gas in the tank or oil in the oil well, the oil pan, if you don't have transmission fluid where it should be, if you don't have power steering fluid, if the cables aren't good, the car's not going to run right no matter how well you jumped it. So the adjunctive therapies, acupuncture, homeopathy, chiropractic, work 1,000 times better when delivered to a body that has been nutrified 100% and to a body that has eliminated itself, removed itself from beneath the wheel of the stress of the 10 bad foods. So eliminate your 10 bad foods, clean your diet up, take the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for body weight every day like your life depended on it, because it does, and visit the acupuncturist, the chiropractor, or the homeopath as needed. You're going to love how you feel. We're going to go to Mississippi now and talk to Rob. Hey, Rob. Thanks for calling. You are live.
Yeah, good to talk to you today. Came across your show for the first time. I'm 54 years old. I graduated high school in 1976. When I heard you say that, it just it made me snap my head around and say, hey, what's going on here? I came back from Afghanistan about 18 months ago. Since that time, I've noticed that just lethargic, don't have the energy that I used to, and I've been listening to the commercials about the hormone therapy, the to testosterone, get it revitalized. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, that's like, napalming a village because there's one mosquito in it. I mean, it's a right. It's just the wrong therapy. I mean, it's not correct. Now, you were in Afghanistan?
Yeah.
All right. How hot was it there?
Hot, but not really much hotter than it is here at home in Mississippi.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. So, and how long were you deployed there?
1 year.
Okay. So here's our basic fundamental message here, which is a pretty important thing to understand, right? The basic fundamental message is that in order for everything in the body to work the way that nature and God intended it to, your body needs 90 essential nutrients, 90. 60 minerals, things like calcium and sulfur and zinc and selenium, 16 vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, 12 amino acids, taurine, leucine, and things like that, and 2 essential fatty acids, omega-3 and omega-6. We get those from plant oils or fish oils. Now, that's a grand total of 90 essential nutrients, and this is what your body needs to have healthy energy levels, to have a healthy heart, healthy liver, healthy skin, healthy bones and joints, etc., etc. Now, the problem is that these nutrients, the 90 essentials, are missing from the food. They're not in the food anymore. They're just not there. Thank you very much, Monsanto. And also, the lion's share of your nutrient needs are minerals. Minerals are only found in the soil. Plants can't make them. Plant cannot make a mineral. An animal cannot make a mineral. For goodness sake, if plants could make minerals, we could bioengineer lettuce to make gold, right? We'd all be rich. So we need 60 minerals, but there's no soil on the planet where all 60 minerals are found in one place. So unless you or me or anybody else is actively supplementing with mineral supplements, vitamin supplements, and the 90 essential nutrients, your tank is just at various stages of empty. Now, to add insult to injury, right? So, you go to Afghanistan because your doctor hasn't been educated in this, because the VA docs are not educated in this, because the military docs are not educated in this. You are nutritionally deficient when your boots hit the ground. Now, you're sweating in a high-stress environment, and even if people aren't shooting at you, being deployed in a war zone is stressful to the emotional body of the human being. And so being in a high-stress environment, your body is going to burn through B vitamins, B like baby. That just comes along with the territory. I mean, if I were the commander-in-chief, if I were, the general in charge of our troops, it would be mandatory that every single solitary member of the military, whether they're deployed or not, would be on the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for their body weight. And if they're in a hot environment like Iraq or Afghanistan, when you are sweating, you sweat in Mississippi, you sweat when you're in the desert. When your body sweats, you lose more nutrients. You don't just sweat out salt and sugar. You sweat out vitamins and minerals and a lot of the nutrients that your body needs. It's kind of like driving a car around that has a slow leak in the oil pan. Well, it's only a matter of time until the car runs out of oil, and then guess what? The engine seizes. So it's the same with your body. Because you were deployed in the war zone, your body is burning through nutrients because you're in a high-stress environment. And because you're in a hot environment, every time you sweat, you're losing more nutrients. So guess what? For goodness sake, you survived. You didn't get a limb blown off, thank God. You're back in the U.S. of A. But now you're really running on empty, because when you were over there, you sweated out and you burned through the lion's share of your limited reserves. So now your tank is running on empty, and, you know, you don't have any energy. And before you know it, your blood pressure is going to spike, or your joints are going to start to go, and then your knucklehead medical doctor, I mean, bless his heart, they don't know what they don't know either. You know, they're going to tell you you've got the bad joint gene, or you've got the bad blood pressure gene, or you've got the bad heart gene, and it's nonsense. It's got nothing to do with genetics. It's got everything to do with nutrition. So now, hormone therapy will not be good for you because it would force the issue. Taking a hormone like testosterone into your body would be like trying to solve your energy problem by drinking, you know, 5 cups of espresso. Well, you drink 5 cups of espresso, you're going to have a lot of caffeine in your blood, and you're going to feel energized and charged up, but that's not what you're after. That's kind of like a false sense of energy, right? It really just doesn't feel right into the bargain. So the hormone therapy would be just wrong for you right now. It really would. That's a good metaphor of the napalm trying to get rid of one mosquito. What you really need, Rob, is to give your body the 90 essential nutrients. So what's your current body weight right now?
182.
All right. So here's what I would do as an experiment just for 4 weeks. You should see a remarkable difference in your body. I mean, even just in 2 weeks, all right? So here's the number to call, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Tell them you want one healthy start pack, and 2 bottles of Cherry Mints. One healthy start pack and 2 bottles of Cherry Mints, all right? Here's how I want you to take it. The Cherry Mints, I want you to do it's a liquid mineral supplement. I want you to do 1 ounce of the Cherry Mints, 1 ounce of the Cherry Mints twice a day. You can mix that with anything you want to for taste. You can mix it with water or juice or vodka. I don't care. Take 1 ounce twice a day of the liquid Cherry Mints, okay? Okay. All right. The Healthy Start Pack has 3 things in it. One of the things in the Healthy Start Pack is a liquid calcium. It's called Osteo FX Plus. O, S like Sam, T like Thomas, E-O. Osteo, F like Frank, X like X-ray. Osteo FX Plus. It's a white liquid calcium. For 2 weeks, I want you to take 1 ounce in a couple of ounces of orange juice twice a day, and I want the second dose to be immediately before bed. Immediately before bed. And that stuff is thick like paint, man. So every time you take a dose of that, I want you to turn the bottle upside down and shake the crap out of it for about, 30, 45 seconds, just like you would try to mix up a thing of paint. It's very, very thick, and if you don't do that, the last 5 or 6 doses will be thick like mud. So shake it up and take 1 ounce twice a day and a little bit of orange juice, the second dose immediately before bed. All right, the next thing in the Healthy Start Pack is fish oil. I want you to take 3 capsules a day with food. And I don't care how you do that. 1 with breakfast, 1 with lunch, 1 with dinner, 3 with dinner, 2 with lunch, 1 with dinner. I don't care. 3 capsules a day with food. All right? Okay. Next thing, actually, I'm going to take that back. 3 capsules twice a day with food. I want you to do 6 a day. 3 capsules twice a day with food. 3 capsules twice a day with food, for a total of 6 a day. All right? Now, the final thing, and the secret sauce really here for you, is the final component of the Healthy Start Pack. It's called Beyond Tangy Tangerine Powder. I know it's a stupid name. I didn't name it, but that's what it's called, Beyond Tangy Tangerine. It's a red powder, and this is the most sophisticated nutritional supplement currently available on the planet, in my opinion. And my opinion is a good one. So here's how I want you to take it. It's going to be a red powder in a canister. Inside the canister, there's going to be a little blue scoop. I want you to do 2 level scoops of the red powder in 16 ounces of water twice a day. 2 level scoops of the red powder in 16 ounces of water twice a day. And you want to shake that up, and you want to drink from that solution slowly. You don't want to just slug it down. You can slug the calcium down, you can slug the fish oil down, you can slug the Cherry Mints down, no problem. But this stuff, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine red powder, each time you make a solution of it, I want you to take at least 1 hour to drink it down. take at least 1 hour. Take 2 hours, it's better. So you make a bottle of the stuff and you just sip from it all morning long. When it's empty, you make another one up and you sip from it all afternoon long, okay? And again, once you've mixed it up with water, you can add anything else that you want to for taste. Now, if it's easier for you, you can add the cherry mint to the Beyond Tangy Tangerine water solution if you want to. You can also add the calcium to it, but I don't think that tastes very good. If you want to, you can add the cherry mints to the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, but I would just do the white liquid calcium and orange juice because otherwise it doesn't taste very good, all right? So now, with one of these healthy start packs plus the cherry mints, if you take it in this dosage schedule, it's going to last you 14 days only. So this is an experiment. I just want you to take this stuff for 14 days. And then call me back on the radio and tell me how you feel. And then if you feel good, I'll dial in an appropriate dose for you. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, Rob, you're the greatest, man. Thanks for your service. Thanks for your trust. And give this stuff a try. You're going to love how you feel. Remember, I can talk a blue streak. A lot of people can. But what it comes down to is results. The proof of the pudding's in the eating. I want you to have a specific and measurable, noticeable change in your energy in 14 days. Check it out and call me back. One more call. Cheryl from Kansas has a question about Z-Radical. Hey, Cheryl, thanks for calling. You are live.
Well, hi, doctor. I do use the longevity products, but I haven't gotten into using the Z-Radical, and I'm wondering what the benefits of that is.
Well, that's a great question. Z-Radical is one of two supplements made by the Escape Company that I think are worth, are meritorious, right? The other one, of course, is called Fucoid Z. That's F like Frank, U, C like Charlie, O, I, D like David, Z like zebra. Now, the Fucoid Z and the Z-Radical contain in them, the active ingredient is an extract of a sea vegetable called fucoidin. F like Frank, U, C like Charlie, O like Oscar, I, D like David, A, N, fucoidin. Now, if you go to PubMed.com, P-U-B like baby, M-E-D like David, .com, that's a medical database of the, it's a government medical database. That's where most published medical studies go, right? It's kind of like the file box for most medical research. If you type into the search box at PubMed fucoidin, you get 1,000, I think it's 1,000 to 1,100, 1,120 something hits. There have been over 1,000 published studies on the benefits of this extract of this sea vegetable called fucoidin. And one of the things that it does is it kills cancer cells. It's been proven to kill cancer cells. Well, hey, that's a pretty good thing. Another thing that it's been proven to do is it's been proven to stimulate stem cells. How about that? Stem cells are found all over the body, in different parts of the body. And when you stimulate a stem cell in your knee is stimulated to build new knee tissue. When you stimulate stem cells in the liver is stimulated to grow new liver cells. Not bad. So fucoidin, the active ingredient in the Z-Radical and the Fucoid Z, it does too many good things to overlook. And I have met a lot of people. I keep threatening to do a webinar about this or to do a week-long. The only way I would be able to do this subject justice is if we did a whole week-long thing. That's going to take a long time to prepare for that. But I've met a lot of people who have had cancer and used the Z-Radical as part of the program that they decided to do on their own to support and promote the structure and function of their immune systems, and they don't have the cancer anymore. So remember, we can't say we can treat cancer. We can't even intimate that we can treat cancer. But I've seen with my own eyes testimonials about people who have used the Z-Radical and extracts of fucoidin to help them win the battle against cancer. And because of all of the published studies that back it up, I think it's a perfect add-on to any, health optimizing program. And for some reason, the liquid seems to be more effective. I don't know why. The liquid doesn't have as much fucoidin as the capsules do, but the liquid has a super juice in it that's loaded with antioxidants. So if it's in the budget, it's an excellent add-on to the longevity program, and I'll give you a little insider information here. I've struggled with calcium issues my entire life because I didn't know I had a calcium issue until I met Dr. Wallach. Imagine that. Never was a fan of the OsteoFX Plus. I just never liked the way that it tasted. So I gravitated towards the Cal Toddy, and the Cal Toddy has been a godsend for me. However, I didn't like the way that it tastes. Even if you mix it with orange juice, I was like struggling to shoot that stuff down every morning and every night. Well, guess what? On a whim, I mixed my Cal Toddy dose with the Z-Radical liquid. And it's awesome. I mean, it's a very enjoyable taste. And so I no longer, look down my nose at the liquid calcium supplement and kind of have to, gird myself to take it, because now I actually enjoy the taste of it. So mix it with the liquid calcium. See how you like the taste. Take it, see how it makes you feel. You should notice within 14 days an increase in energy if energy is a problem for you. I think it's a great add-on, Cheryl. Give it a try and call me back and let me know how it makes you feel. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what the heck? We're out of time again. Please visit the website, fireyourmdnow.com, and I'll look to see you right back here on the Genesis Communication Network tomorrow, 3 to 5 p.m. Central Time. Until then, I remain your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden. Over and out.